Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Employer Highlight Series. My name is Scott Johnson. I'm the Job Center operator here at the Ohio Means Jobs Columbus Franklin County Job Center, and we are excited to have Nationwide Children's Hospital joining us today for the Employer Highlight Series, and then also for our Thursday with an Employer event, which will be held this coming Thursday at 11 o'clock here in our Job Center. So, representing Nationwide Children's Hospital today, we have Mark Stevenson. Mark, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am Mark Stevenson. I'm a senior talent acquisition partner here at Nationwide Children's Hospital, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Awesome. So, for those that aren't familiar, the entire goal of our Employer Highlight Series is to really help everyone understand the wonderful local employers that we have here in Franklin County and to get to know the organizations a lot better because we know long-term success of an individual when they work for an organization really focuses not only the fit of the position but the fit of the organization. The way that I really like to start this conversation is to just let you tell us a little about Nationwide Children's Hospital. We've all seen it grow. If you drive through that whole 70-71 corridor, you've seen it start with one building to two to three to, oh my gosh, I think five or six now. So why don't you give us just a little bit of information and some background on Nationwide Children's Hospital?
So we're one of the largest pediatric children facilities in the United States. We don't consider ourselves just a hospital. We are a healthcare network, and we have community partners throughout Central Ohio that we partner with to provide best outcomes for children. We provide we have close to home clinics throughout the city. We provide all types of resources, whether it's behavioral health, anything dealing with research, any ailment, anything like that. Our hospital can handle it. We have about 14,000 employees spread out across Central Ohio, and that also includes Toledo. We have a facility in Toledo, Ohio, as well, and we're steady growing. That's the reason why I'm here to talk to you today, because if anybody comes by the 70-71 corridor, you see that Nationwide Children's is putting up buildings, and looking like skyscrapers now. So we have about $3.8 billion worth of expansion going on here over the next 3 years. So with that expansion comes opportunities for careers. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you touched on something that's really important when you talk about, the backbone or the reason that an organization exists and that you guys aren't just a hospital, but you do encompass that really holistic approach of some outpatient care, also a research side, and the thing that I always like to stress, and I know we're going to talk about this a little later, is that when you talk about a hospital or a healthcare system, it isn't just about the doctors and the nurses and that direct patient care team. There's an IT team, obviously. There's an HR team. There's all those other teams that are behind it. So I think that's part of what I'm excited for us to be able to talk about today. Um, Probably the next and most logical place to go after talking just about the size of the organization and everything is a little about the culture and the way that someone will feel when they work at Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Oh yeah, yeah. So here, at NCH, we subscribe to this one team values approach. At the core is our philosophy. We have six different expectations that we espouse every single employee to harbor. The first one is an actual one team collaboration where if you're familiar with Nationwide Children's Hospital, the way that we do patient care, we have actual patient care teams. So not only will you have a doctor assigned to you if you're an inpatient, but you'll also have a nurse care team. You will have other resources if you need someone with behavior health or social work. We provide those resources as well. So they do rounds together, and that one team culture allows us the ability to provide best outcomes for our patients so they can get all the resources all at once. And because of the way that the patient rounds go, it allows every different department who is involved with that actual individual child to be able to understand what's going on, and so we can provide the best resources. The second part of that is the person has to be able to do the right thing. And what we mean by do the right thing, that means you come to work every single day and do the job that you are being paid to do. And that job should allow you to be able to assist with the best outcomes for our kids. Create a safe day every day in the hospital. We have a program called Zero Hero that we want to make sure that we're providing safety not only to the children that are in the hospital but to our employees as well. So we provide training for that. Promote health and well-being. Obviously we're a healthcare network, and we have a lot of things going on. We got a lot of expansion going on around the hospital. We got we got cranes and people, construction workers. So we got to make sure that we are providing a safe place, so that way when people are moving throughout our facilities, that we're providing safe environments for them. Um, is it agile and innovative? The person has to be agile, innovative. We're always on the cutting edge of technology. That's why we have one of the biggest research facilities for pediatrics in the country here. We're always looking for different new technology, different ways to provide best healthcare, and also get results. The person has to be able to get results, and by getting results, what we mean by that um, is the patient getting the actual care that they came to get, and are we providing them with the care, so that way their condition can be changed. And so that's our culture here. That's our philosophy. We believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is the core fabric of Nationwide Children's Hospital, and we tend to promote those aspects every single day in our job, and that's kind of embodies our whole one team value proposition. So
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And one of the things that I heard you mention in that idea of that one team that I think is super important. We've all worked in small businesses. We've all worked in large businesses. And sometimes when you're in that large business, it's easy to kind of get swallowed up and just feel like a number. But like when you talk about those care teams, it's obvious that your employees and your staff, they get a chance to be a part of something small so that they aren't isolated and they aren't alone, which I think is really important.
yes, yes, yes. We promote those small teams because it allows everyone to be able to give individual feedback, and it also allows everybody's voice to be heard. It's not like, obviously the physician is the one that is actually driving the care team, but everyone, whether it's a social worker, whether it's a behavioral health specialist, whether it's one of the technicians, maybe it might be an MRI or anything, they have the ability to provide their input and their feedback based on their skill sets, so that way we can arrive at the best outcome for the patient. And it allows everyone to have a voice, and it allows everyone to be inclusive. So that's one aspect that I love about working here, is the fact that everyone has a voice. No one's voice is louder than anyone else's, because at the end of the day, the patient's overall care is what's important, and it's not about individuals. It's about us providing the best outcome for the patient. So
Especially when your patients are children. I think
yes,
that
exactly.
always just puts a little extra passion into what everyone does.
Yes.
Talking about the way the small teams work and how no one's voice is louder and more important than someone else's, that kind of leads me to also think about professional development, which I think is something that is extremely important to our job seekers today. We see a lot of individuals who might be changing an industry or changing the industry within which the way they do their work, meaning like in IT. You've always been in banking, and now you might have an opportunity to go work in healthcare. So it's something that's very different. How does NCH approach professional development, and how do you guys like really blend that into your day-to-day activities?
Yeah, yeah. So we have in human resources, we have a department called organizational development. Up under them, we have a program called Grow Your Own. We believe in developing our talent, because obviously we don't want the talent walking out the door. We want to be able to bring someone in and have them stay here for their entire career, and and the only way that happens is through opportunities for advancement and other opportunities inside the hospital. So we have a program. It's Career Circles. It's an initiative to empower our employees to take ownership of their own careers, and we do that through group coaching and facilitation and development. We used our facilitators to actually build out curriculums that allow our employees to look at other ways that they can improve themselves, not only personally but professionally. That curriculum actually is like it's a course. They have homework designed to allow them to increase their knowledge and effectiveness of career exploitation here at the hospital, and it also allows them to gain information about potential advancement and opportunities and career paths that they may not know exist. So the career circles is where we tell most of our employees, go sign up for career circles. You may have been a patient access rep at first, but you may have an opportunity, you may have a skill set that you went to school for, maybe IT or to be a nurse. Well, if you want to learn how to get into those career fields, that is where career circles comes in at, because we bring the professionals, we bring the managers from those departments to tell you, okay, this is how we can leverage what you already have in order to help you get into a career path that you want to get into. And we want to help you do that here at Nationwide Children's Hospital. We don't want you walking out the door. We want you to be able to continue your career and your professional growth here at the hospital. And we do that with our Career Circles program. So
Yeah, dude, that is absolutely awesome because, I think back to my younger days and in a couple of previous career opportunities that I had where I sat and I waited, because I thought that was what I need to do. I waited for somebody to tap my shoulder and say, hey, we think you're ready for this. And, the Career Circles program sounds like you're really empowering individuals to kind of stand up and raise their hand and say, I am 100% this right now, but I really feel like this is where my passion and my skills can lead me. Now help me get there versus me waiting. So that is absolutely awesome.
is that I tell employees as well as I tell candidates that I interview. No one cares more about your career than you do. So if you want to advance in your career, if you're waiting on your manager to tell you, hey, you're ready, if you're waiting on a director to say, hey, we want to advance you, then you're behind the power curve. you know, take ownership of your career. Join our Career Circles group. Look at all the opportunities here at the hospital that are available to you, and utilize the resources that we have in human resources to make that happen. Because we want to grow our own. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's really something that's at the forefront of when individuals are searching for new employment opportunities right now. The other thing that it would be very remiss if we didn't discuss, though, would be the more traditional benefits and some of those unique things that Nationwide Children's Hospital offers. So let's kind of talk about the overall benefits package that you guys have and that type of thing.
yeah, so we have a robust benefits package that includes medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. That is available to the employee on day one. There is no waiting period for that. What we do allow them to do is to be able to review the package for the first 30 days after they're firstly hired, so they can elect and decline whatever benefits they want. But those benefits are available after right on day one. We offer up paid time off within the first year. You can expect to have 22 days of paid time off. Um, you know, there are opportunities for tuition reimbursement if you're looking to change career paths and you're looking at going back to school to get a degree, and so we have tuition reimbursement. Um, we offer opportunities to go get certifications. So there's a lot of things that we have in our package that is very, very robust. We have a total rewards package, and that's available to every single full-time and part-time employee here at Nationwide Children's Hospital. So
That is awesome, and I love the fact that you guys make those benefits available as quickly as you do,
yeah.
because we've all been in that transition window before where it's kind of tough and you're planning out like your medication purchases and your appointments and everything. So
Yeah.
That is absolutely phenomenal, and I want to lift you guys up for that for sure.
Yeah, I also want to highlight. You said something about prescriptions.
Yep.
If an employee actually has prescriptions that they need to get filled, we have a pharmacy here that our employees can utilize to fill their prescriptions too. So that's something cool that we have. So they can. You don't even have to worry about going anywhere. You can actually bring your prescriptions in, and we'll fill them right at one of our pharmacies here at the hospital. So
Yeah, so that saves you time to do other stuff when you're not at work, right?
exactly. Yep. You can
Yeah,
put your order in, and then when you get off work, go pick it up.
yeah, and it's all those little things that we don't think about that really add up. I we talked about the circles program that you have for professional development internal, but you also have tuition reimbursement. So if there's something you want to do outside of the NCH space, you have that opportunity. So I applaud you guys for having that really well-rounded opportunity available for everybody. So let's talk now a little about kind of what the application and hiring process is like. If someone goes to your website or comes to see all of us on Thursday at our Thursday with an employer event, what will they experience and what will they expect?
Okay, yeah. So typically our hiring process takes about 30 to 45 days. The interview process starts with obviously it's going to be an initial interview with someone from my team, the talent acquisition team, one of the partners. If you apply for a job online, we reach out to schedule, phone screen. And in that phone screen, we're just really trying to assess the number one, the person's abilities. Do they have the knowledge, skill, and abilities based on the job description to perform the essential duties of the job? We're also looking at eligibility. Obviously, we are a pediatric facility, so there are requirements to work here. Certain criminal background information may lend someone not to be eligible to work here because we are a pediatric, children facility. So if they had anything dealing with a child, chances are they're not going to be eligible to work here. So we are assessing that. We're also looking at salary expectations. Obviously, nationwide, we don't normally post our salary expectations online. We use that as proprietary information. But we do ask that during the interview process because we want to make sure that you're applying for a job, that we can actually that the job that you're applying for matches with whatever salary expectation you're looking for. And if it's not within that salary, we may look at other opportunities that we may be hiring for that you may fit into that salary range that you're looking at. Um, after we screen them out and we find them to be a potential candidate, we present them to the hiring managers, and the candidate goes through a series of interviews that can be either virtual or on site. It kind of depends on the actual job and whether and what the manager's preference is. Those interviews can be a single one interview with the manager, or it could be a panel style interview where there's multiple people, or it could be a series of multiple interviews that involves, private one-on-one interviews with a series of um, managers. Um, Once is done and they have elected to, move on with a particular candidate, we will do a reference check. That is done online. And where the candidate will provide us with the references, and then we get a reference report back from all the references. We take that, we collaborate it together, send that over to the managers. They review it, and if they like the candidate after that, we will present the candidate with a tentative offer, and that offer is contingent upon them passing, our pre-employment phase, which is a background check and a drug test. So that's why it takes about 30 to 45 days. And that's usually done for an initial interview with the actual talent acquisition partner to getting them to orientation. So
Yeah. Which considering everything that you need to work through isn't a bad time frame at all, to be able to find employment with such a great organization.
right.
So I think if I'm hearing you correctly, a lot of the information that's found in like a background check is definitely a case by case, depending on the position and also what might be in someone's background. So we'd encourage everybody to look at your particular situation, apply if you feel you're fit. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of great interactions with the team to really get to know what NCH is all about as they run through the hiring process to get screened in for those great positions.
Yes, and even with the background check, if there's something that someone knows that they have, they can always ask the talent acquisition partner. There are some things that we cannot get approval for, but there's a lot of things that we can. So we don't want to disqualify somebody just basically on the background check. We want to make sure that they, and just be open and honest up front. It makes the process a whole lot easier when we have that. So
Yeah, and because you mentioned the same thing with salary. Like no one wants to go through this entire process to either be disappointed or find out they have something that's disqualifying. So
exactly,
save everybody that time and effort for sure.
exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about an amazing culture. We've talked about great benefits. We've talked about all of that phenomenal stuff. Now I'm going to put the shameless plug in before we talk about the positions that you're specifically recruiting for right now. We love having our employer partners participate in these employer highlights. And Mark, we appreciate you and the team for wanting to also come and do our Thursday with an employer this Thursday at our job center on the 28th at 11 a.m., where we will actually have the team in person so you can ask them questions, understand more about the positions that are available, and actually start that application process on site. So if you're interested in connecting with Nationwide Children's Hospital at all, visit the URL that's there on the screen or give us a call at 614-559-5052, and we can definitely get you connected. And that can really help launch you into the pipeline a little bit faster because you're in front of somebody on that day, talking to them, interacting with them. So that's why there's a huge benefit for stopping by and connecting with Mark and the team if you can. Okay, now I've got my shameless plug out of the way. Let's talk about those positions that you're recruiting for.
Yeah, so for me, I am an IT recruiter. But I will have people with me that have other entry level roles like patient access and social work and things like that. In my roles, I'm looking for new grads, someone who's fresh out of college, who wants to get into the IT field, all the way up to the more senior, seasoned project managers and everything in between. I have about roughly about 50 open positions right now that I'm looking to fill with talented IT professionals from all over the Central Ohio. So if you know someone or you're interested, please come out and because I would love to connect with you and talk about opportunities. Whether it's working in the help desk doing troubleshooting, whether it's being a software engineer, maybe a project scientist. You may want to work as a systems analyst where you're doing software and integration and application integration. We have audio and visual technicians that we're looking for. We have networking and so everything in the IT field that's out there. I got a position at Nationwide Children's Hospital that I'm trying to fill the hire for it. So, like I said, entry level all the way to your more senior project managers and everything in between. So,
Yeah, and I think you being here, there's perfect timing for this. We've all seen in the news recently. There are a few other firms and businesses here in Central Ohio that have actually reduced their workforce in IT a little bit, and you guys definitely have room for those individuals to come over. And I think the thing that I really liked about the list that you sent me prior to this conversation was you're exactly right. If you're just starting out, there are some great entry level positions to get your foot in the door, whether you are in network engineering, software engineering, the analytics side of it, all the way up to some of those senior project management positions. So it's definitely encouraging to say the least.
yes, yes, and for those who have been let go, we are at the league. Come join NCH. Come on home.
And we all know where the building is, so we
Yes,
can't, or
exactly.
buildings, I should say, the campus. So yeah, just one more time to remind everybody, we do have Nationwide Children's Hospital. So Mark and the team will be here on Thursday, the 28th at 11 a.m. You can visit the URL omjcfc.org/Thursday, or you can call us at 614-559-5052 to get registered for that event. Mark, I just want to say thank you to you, the entire team at Nationwide Children's Hospital, not only for the time that you've spent with us today, but also for the amazing impact that you make on our community. It's a pleasure to work side by side with an organization like yours, knowing how you impact lives and the type of things that you do. Do you have any closing thoughts for everybody out there in social media world before we wrap this up?
I just say thank you all. Thank you all for the opportunity. I look forward to working with Ohio Means Jobs. This is a great opportunity for anyone that is looking to get into, healthcare or IT. If you got questions, please come out. Um, I look forward to talking to people on Thursday and discussing these roles in general and giving you a more in-depth look into what it's like to work at Nationwide Children's Hospital. So.
Awesome. So one more time, you can hit the URL. It's on the screen, which is omjcfc.org/Thursday, or give us a call at 614-559-5052, and we can help connect you. Again, Mark, thank you so much for your time today. Everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.